Hello there everyone, welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you aren't. I'm EDJ, and I'm watching part 3 of the Pyrrhus of Epirus series by Kings and Generals. I've been going off by the dates, so, so down here, so Pyrrhus before Rome, part 1, part 2, part 3, and as far as I could find, Pyrrhus against everyone is the final part. So we'll be watching that. I don't know anything about this man's life other than he fought Rome, so this has been so fun to learn about. I don't know how his story ends. I don't know what the heck's gonna happen to this dude. But yeah, last episode he fought Rome for the first time, and it was close. He lost like 4,000 dudes. Rome lost 7,000. That's not really a victory you kind of brag about. That's a close one. That's the kind of you like, whew, like, you know, you sigh in relief, but you're like, we barely made it, guys. Like, yeah, dude, Rome is such a different beast from like most nations. They just have so much grit and perseverance and tenacity, and just like, they don't quit, they don't give up, they don't surrender. And like Pyrrhus, he's obviously, so as we've seen, he's established himself as good at tactically winning these battles, and obviously he has a knack for the military. But I don't think I wouldn't say he's not ready, but like I just think he doesn't fully understand Rome, but I think he's starting to now. And if he's starting to, he's gonna have to start adjusting his mindset when fighting these guys, So yeah, we'll see. We'll just see. And apparently, hey, the Carthaginians... Oh, Carthage, wow. It's weird to see Rome and Carthage, like, not trying to kill each other. But, yeah, if Carthage gets involved, then Pyrrhus is in for it. Because Rome alone is already a handful. If Carthage gets involved, are you kidding me? I don't know why Carthage would get involved, actually, but I guess we'll find out. So yeah, like, yeah, this doesn't look good for Pyrrhus if it becomes a two-front war now. So, dang. Well, guys, I'm just gonna jump right into this. I want to learn. If you want to, like, if you want to watch this video without me interrupting the talk, the link is down in the description down below. Without any further ado, I want to get right into this. Let's watch Pyrrhus versus Romans and Carthaginians by Kings and Generals.
In the wake of the defeat at the Battle of Heraclea in 280 BC, Consul Levinus returned to Rome. The Roman recruiting machine intensified greatly, quickly replenishing the heavy losses they had suffered in the previous battle. Meanwhile, Pyrrhus, who still did not yet understand the Roman mindset, sent his friend and advisor Cineas forward to Rome as an envoy with great gifts, which were probably meant as bribes. Pyrrhus himself marched north in the direction of Rome proper, and his army was swelled by the Italian Greeks and Italian allies of Rome, who now viewed him as a hero for defeating their subjugators. In a show of Roman honor, Cineas was sent away without achieving his goal of peace, but he had observed the frightening speed of the Roman levy system. Almost directly after this, a Roman named Fabricus arrived at Pyrrhus's court, with the aim of negotiating the release of the prisoners taken at Heraclea. Pyrrhus tried to bribe him to no avail, and then failed to impress him by frightening him with an elephant. Fabricus was also an extremely honourable but prickly man. When Pyrrhus's treacherous physician offered to poison the king for money, Fabricus instead informed Pyrrhus and stated that he would not dishonour Rome by defeating his enemy by treachery. Greatly admiring this paragon of a man, the Epirate king offered the Roman first place among his companions. Fabricus refused, stating that if he had accepted, the Epirates would soon wish he were king instead of Pyrrhus.
Oh crap. Yeah, it sounds like Rome. Man, all this honorable stuff. We just got back from mainland Greece where everyone is killing each other, and then here Rome is being like, yeah, Pyrrhus, we're gonna beat you without even having to, like, rely on that treacherous crap. Like, we're just gonna beat you fairly and squarely, like Rome does. But man, yeah, so Pyrrhus seems like he's trying to bribe them. And it is frightening because obviously Rome has the home field advantage. As we know from history, Rome is able to replenish its numbers and basically raise up new armies just like that. Like the first Punic War, when they lost so many men through the natural disasters and just raised up new ships, new armies. Hannibal Barca murdered thousands of them and they just assembled new armies. I'm like, they're like, I don't know, dude. They're like a hydra. Like, you rip off their head and just a new one grows, or like two more grows. But like, dang, I think Pyrrhus is starting to see this, and he's like, here. He's trying to bribe them or intimidate them. But I think he's starting to realize he's up against something that he's not familiar with, you know? And dang, man.
After this witty remark, he departed back to Rome with the prisoners, who were released as a gesture of kindness.
So yeah, there seems a lot of respect. There seems mutual respect going on. Pyrrhus, you know, is treating them, going about this very well, almost diplomatically, and, you know, the Romans are honorable, and they're like, nah, you're a challenge. We're gonna beat you, and we're gonna do it without relying on treachery, so that's awesome. You know, good old Rome, man. Yeah, we haven't covered Rome in a long time in this channel, guys. I almost kind of miss them, you know? Like, after the Dova Hadi Rome series, it's interesting to get back to Rome, you know? And yeah, just interesting to see them again. So yeah, I'm kind of a little worried for Pyrrhus here. Rome is already replenishing its troops, and they're releasing the prisoners, a kind gesture, but you've just helped replenish their ranks even more, right? So Pyrrhus, I don't know how fast he's rebuilding his army, but he needs to move quick. This is a battle of endurance, I'm getting.
The Pyrrhic army then continued its northward march and attempted to take Capua. Levinus, who had reached the city before them, prevented Pyrrhus from taking it, so the king pivoted south and attempted to seize Neapolis, and again was repelled. After his failure to take the cities in Campania, Pyrrhus marched on Rome via the Latin Road and stopped just 6 kilometers from the city. After Brennus's assault in 390 BC, the walls of Rome had been strengthened and the city was reported to be impregnable. A strong garrison held the city, and 2 other armies were approaching Pyrrhus swiftly, and so he decided to retreat south to Tarentum rather than besiege the city over winter. With the Romans refusing to make peace, the campaign would continue into 279. Since his victory at Heraclea, the Italian tribes had flocked to his banner. Samnites, Lucanians, Bruttians, and Salentines all sent contingents to join Pyrrhus's army. This year, instead of attacking the enemy capital directly, he would campaign up the Adriatic coast in Apulia, hopefully inducing more of Rome's allies to change sides and securing his supply lines back to Epirus. In spring, he began his advance. Up until this point, the legions had been reluctant to confront Pyrrhus after their prior defeat at Heraclea, but having the important Apulian cities threatened, they were forced to, and
that's interesting, because, you know, Rome, as we've known, is go-getters, very aggressive, so obviously Pyrrhus has left some impact on them, that they're not just gonna jump right on him, so that's interesting, that, you know, Pyrrhus managed to cause any caution in them, which is, really telling. I think if you can make Rome a little conscious and weary of you, that shows you're obviously, you know, a threat or a challenge to them. So yeah, about not sieging the city, obviously if he could take the city, I think that would be like basically an instant win at this point, because Rome is still, you know, this is a young Rome. I could understand, yeah, the walls are impregnable, he's got their armies right outside, so even if he even if he did besiege them, the armies would be forced to meet him, and he would have to fight off the armies, meanwhile worrying about if the garrisons of the city are gonna do anything. So yeah, I guess he can't take it, even though if he did, it would be an instant win. So here he says he's going to try to get more allies, secure supply lines. Alright, yeah, that sounds sound, quite frankly. But now Rome is gonna fight him again, so let's see if Pyrrhus has learned anything. Let's see if he's finally accustomed, sees Rome, their inability to surrender, their quick replenishing of their army. Like, let's see if Pyrrhus has anything new up his sleeves, or yeah, I guess we'll find out if he's adapted.
Marched south to meet the Pyrrhic army near the city of Asculum.
Hi, I'm JT and I made Result Hunter, the search engine for conservatives. Let me just tell you what it does. First of all,
Consuls Publius Decius Mus and Publius Sulpicius Severio commanded the double consular army that the Romans had brought, consisting of around 40,000 legionaries and 5,000 cavalry. In addition, they had learned from their previous defeat at the hands of Pyrrhus's elephants, and had constructed roughly 300 anti-elephant wagons, armed with iron tridents and manned by missile troops.
Oh my gosh.
Pyrrhus's elephants, and had constructed roughly 300 anti-elephant wagons, armed with iron tridents and manned by missile troops.
Dude, I'm telling you, Rome and their ability to adapt is... There's a reason Rome became the top dog of the world. Like, I always think of the First Punic War, where Rome didn't even have a navy. And then one Carthage ship lands. They literally just copy the blueprint, the instruction, and make their own fleet. They lose that fleet, like, what, 2 times? They just rebuild new ones. I'm like, their ability to just grow up, like, I called them, what, a hydra? Was the last video or this one? Like, where they just, like, you take them out and they just, they grow new heads. But not only that, but, like, they learn. Like, they adapt to you. Now that they have ways to, what, or at least or experimenting with ways to fight elephants. Pyrrhus, so far we haven't heard anything about if Pyrrhus has made adjustments, though in the first battle Pyrrhus wasn't fully ready for the fight. He was kind of forced into it. This time it seems like he's a bit more ready, so I guess we're about to find out, how, if a prepared Pyrrhus will handle Rome. But yeah, I'm telling you, Rome is adapting and it's frightening. This should frighten Pyrrhus a little. So that depends. There's a river now. I'm guessing Rome will be the first to cross the river. Because Rome seems more of the aggressor. I'm guessing they're going to cross the river. And Pyrrhus, they're going to be in another stalemate. If Pyrrhus can win again, he can drive them into the river. If not, I don't know. Last fight was so close, guys. Like, who knows who's gonna win this? But I'm at least gonna assume Rome is the one who crosses the river, and Pyrrhus with his phalanx, takes a little bit more of a defensive route, since he could probably count on Rome being the aggressor. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Pyrrhus, meanwhile, had around 38,000 infantry, 5,000 cavalry, and 19 elephants. His Macedonian
Okay, so Pyrrhus has added to his numbers, thank goodness.
phalangites were ordered to the position of honour on the right wing. To their left were the mercenaries hired from Tarentum and Ambracia. Next to these troops were the Bruttians and Lucanians, Italian allies of the Pyrrhic army. In the centre of the line were the Thesprotians and Caunian tribes of Epirus. Even closer to the left were units of Greek mercenaries, and on the left wing of the infantry line were the Samnites, armed as hoplites. Pyrrhus's flanks were covered by his cavalry, with light troops and elephants behind each wing. Outside of the main battle line, Pyrrhus formed up with 2,000 of his elite guard as a mobile reserve, ready to move wherever they were needed. The Roman army had an excellent defensive position, anchored on the far side of a small and swiftly flowing river. Seeing this, and the uneven ground close to the river that his phalanx currently occupied, Pyrrhus retreated to flatter ground to the rear and allowed the Romans to cross the river. When both sides were on the same side of the river, they made contact. The battle between the Phalangites and legionaries in the center was
Okay, so I was correct. Yeah, Rome was the one who crossed the river. And yeah, the Phalanx, I've learned that they do better on flatter ground, so Pyrrhus has chosen a much better ground for his troops. Because the Phalanx is basically the military maneuver, right, after Alexander's gone. Yeah, so it makes sense. That's kind of like the crux of most of these armies. So, yeah, he's chosen a much better terrain. Though, I don't know, man. Well, I guess we'll find out. I love not knowing who's gonna win. I love speculating. It's so fun.
conclusive, while the cavalry on both wings engaged one another. The Pyrrhic horsemen engaged in the Macedonian style, continuously wheeling and charging again, while the Romans reined their horses and fought like infantry. As the cavalry battle intensified, Pyrrhus called his elephants forward, but the Romans sent their wagons in as a response. While this slowed the elephants at first, the light infantry deployed with them killed the wagon crews or the oxen pulling them. Meanwhile in the center...
Yeah, so, okay, Rome's idea for stopping the elephants seems to have failed, but it's the fact that they even made those implements, those contingencies, that shows, alright, so Pyrrhus, if you win this fight, Rome is going to replenish its numbers, they're going to learn why the wagons didn't work, and then they're going to, if he fights them for a third time, then the Romans would probably have perfected another idea of stopping the elephants. Like, that's the thing, they just learn, and that's frightening. Like, you need to put them down quick, Pyrrhus. Like, and look at this. This fight, man, it's close. Everything's cracking. You know, when cracking's coming, everyone's on the verge of breaking. Like, dude, yeah, this is terrifying, guys. Rome is terrifying, but Pyrrhus is holding it down. I know I've been praising Rome a lot, but man, dude, Pyrrhus is holding it. Like, he's doing really well, and you're obviously seeing the man is talented, and I really love learning about him.
The Romans were getting the better of the Phalangites on the bad terrain, until the Italian allies of Pyrrhus finally broke under the pressure. The king, sensing the danger, charged with his 2,000 elite cavalry reserve to plug the gap and managed to destroy the Roman front ranks in the area. At this point, 4,000 Roman allies, who had been trying to attack the Pyrrhic army from behind, managed to find and burn the Pyrrhic camp, which was visible to the armies in the field. The Phalangites were demoralized by this loss and began to lose cohesion, being pushed back by the Romans.
Dude, that is terrifying. Oh my gosh, this is another close one, man. This is like Pyrrhus is on the verge of like losing. Just the tide of battle is constantly shifting. Oh man.
The situation looked critical, but at this moment the elephants and cavalry on the Pyrrhic wings finally managed to attack the Roman flank, which suffered heavy losses. Sensing another massacre, Rome's commanders withdrew in good order back to their camp. The battle had been another hard contest, but Pyrrhus had gained victory again, at the cost of 3,500 men, while the defeated Romans lost around 6,000.
That's close. The first battle, Rome lost 7,000. Pyrrhus lost, what, 4,000? This time it's 3,000, but Rome lost 6,000. So yeah, the numbers are still really close. I think maybe even closer right now at this point. Like, yeah, those aren't victories to brag about, man. But again, he was saved by his elephants. it seems like the elephants really helped at coming clutch, but that's the thing. If he's just winning through this thing, what happens if Rome finds a way to stop the elephants? How would Pyrrhus hold on then? Like, again, I know there's more to it. It's not just the elephants, obviously. But like, that's terrifying. If they manage to get rid of the elephants, Pyrrhus would have to do something else, you know? Yeah, that was another close one, man.
As his camp was destroyed, Pyrrhus lost a few hundred more men due to lack of shelter and provisions in the days after the battle. He surveyed the destruction and corpses all around him and famously stated, "One more victory and we are undone." This is the origin of the term Pyrrhic victory, triumphs so costly that they are just as bad as defeats.
Wait a minute.
A term which we still use 2,300 years later.
Wait a minute, Pyrrhic victory. Wait a minute, I've heard about this. I play war games. I remember reading Pyrrhic victories when I lose a lot of dudes. So that's where... Wow, I'm an idiot. I can't believe I didn't put it together that Pyrrhus, his name is used for the term Pyrrhic victory. Wow. You learn something new every day, huh? But man, how did I not catch on that his name is literally the reason for that? So yeah, he left a lasting legacy, but yeah, he's winning. But yeah, these Pyrrhic victories they're not like something to brag about. They're like, we won, but we lost so much, you know? We won, but what was the cost? Like, you know? Dang, man, that is... Yeah, he's losing a lot in these fights. He needs to either adapt or find a way to end the war quickly, because yeah, Rome is adapting, and if they get rid of the elephants, I'd hate to see what would happen to Pyrrhus and his army after that. Dang.
After the bloody battle at Asculum, Pyrrhus once again marched back to his base at Tarentum and began to recruit fresh soldiers in order to fill his depleted ranks. As he recovered, 2 embassies arrived, each with a unique opportunity for the Epirot king. One was from Macedon back across the Adriatic, where in 279 BC 2 embassies arrived, each with a unique opportunity for the Epirot king. One was from Macedon back across the Adriatic, where in 279 BC, Ptolemy the Thunderbolt marched out to meet a Gallic invasion and had been killed after falling from his horse. Macedon was in trouble and needed a king who was a proven warrior. The second envoy was from the Greek cities of Sicily, which were beset by enemies, including the Mamertine mercenaries and, more importantly, the extremely wealthy Carthaginians. Likely tempted by ambitions of invasion.
Okay. Yeah, I think he goes with Carthage. That sucks. I wanted to speculate. I mainly know because of the title of the video. But man, so I'm assuming Pyrrhus is gonna go and fight Carthage. Okay, wait. First of all, he's fighting Rome. Shouldn't he worry about Rome still? Like, he's barely winning against these guys. There's no time to do something new. Okay, but if he is gonna do something new, I don't know about Carthage. I mean, I guess Carthage would be easier to fight than Rome, but like, I don't know about abandoning Rome right now to fight Carthage. I think of the 2 decisions, either A, become king of Macedon, look at that landmass, or B, continue westward and fight Carthage. I mean, again, we need to see how this all plays out. I don't want to pretend that I know better than Pyrrhus, but just from what I'm seeing, I'm thinking he probably should have gone, or should go, with the Macedonian offer, because here's my mindset, guys. Feel free to tell me if you think I'm being sound or reasonable, but like, from what I see, the reason Philip, or what was it, Philip, the Thunderbolt guy, he took Macedonia. Him and Pyrrhus were originally the 2 contenders for the throne of Macedonia. Pyrrhus decided heck no, so he lost that. And so the Thunderbolt guy got this, but now that he's dead, I guess Pyrrhus has probably maybe the best claim, unless there's someone else we don't know. But yeah, if he goes and takes Macedonia, look at his empire. He would have one of the biggest Greek landmass empires, and with that, with more territory in his homeland of Greece, he could raise even more soldiers there, consolidate his power there, raise up an even bigger army, and then later come back to fight Rome and Carthage. That's my brain. Here I am thinking I'm a big brain genius, right? But like, that's my idea. That's what I think I would try to do. Like, yeah, like, have a bigger base in mainland Greece so you can draw on more resources, more manpower and your home turf, and then go out and expand in other areas. That's what I think that's what I think I would do. And if I were one of Pyrrhus's advisors, that's what I would tell him to do. But it seems like he's gonna go with the Carthage idea. So I guess we'll find out, but like I said, I think he should go for Macedonia. But then again, as we've witnessed before, Macedonia is a little fickle. Power dynamics change dramatically here among the Greek successors of Alexander the Great, so who knows? He would have to really hold his power in Macedonia and really consolidate it, and hopefully not get invaded by any of the other Greek kings. So yeah, there is a lot of problems that would come if he did take all of Macedonia. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, yeah, I'm starting to see the problems that could come with that. Man, tough choice. Wait, let me hear the choices again. I'm so sorry, guys.
He was a proven warrior. The second envoy was from the Greek cities of Sicily, which were beset by enemies, including the Mamertine mercenaries and, more importantly, the extremely wealthy Carthaginians. Likely tempted by ambitions of invading Sicily as a springboard to conquering Carthage, Pyrrhus opted for the Sicilian option, horrifying his Tarentine allies.
Okay, yeah, so he's chosen Carthage. Again, I said I think maybe taking Macedonia for the bigger empire and his own territory and the ability to raise more men and resources and supplies would be better, but then again, I don't know how his story ends, so I guess we'll see. Though I do know Carthage goes on to exist still because they fight Rome, so yeah. Also, I'm definitely with the Tarentum allies. Like, aren't you fighting Rome right now? Okay, so I know I just speculated which side you should take, but also, Pyrrhus, you have your hands full right now. Rome is Rome, guys. like you need to if you're gonna keep fighting Rome, you need to focus all your attention on Rome. Like, you've won 2 Pyrrhic victories over them, but that's not really much to be proud of because you lost a lot too. So ideally, Pyrrhus, wouldn't you want to like I don't know, finish this with Rome? At least come to a truce at the very least before you just get up and leave? Am I wrong, guys? I don't know if I'm saying anything right, but like, I hope you all know what I'm talking about, right? Like, I think just abandoning just to fight someone else would be a very severe underestimation of the current campaign and enemies fighting.
Late summer of 278, he departed Italy for Sicily with 8,000 infantry and 2,000 cavalry, his ships managing to avoid the Carthaginian blockade of the island. Pyrrhus's force landed at the eastern coastal city of Tauromenium, where a local tyrant had already declared his allegiance to the Epirot king. From there, he sailed south to Catana, The citizens welcomed him as a liberator, and the army received 3,000 reinforcements. At this point, he travelled with both his army over land and ships at sea towards Syracuse. The Carthaginian army, which was besieging the city, had no naval support and were caught off guard by Pyrrhus's advance, retreating soon after despite their numerical advantage. After his victory at Syracuse, Pyrrhus was able to gain possession of the 140-ship-strong fleet there, which gave him an advantage over the Carthaginian fleet around the island. Now he moved west and marched on Agrigentum, where the city's tyrant, Soristratus, was also allied to him. It was here that Pyrrhus wintered and gathered his troops together before advancing further west. At the beginning of 278...
I'm just laughing, he just left Rome! I'm sorry. Like, he just left Rome, what the heck? Like, weren't you... It's so weird, because these past two videos... He was, like, fighting Rome. I'm like, oh man, how's this gonna go? He just walked, he just left, like... I hope he go back, you know, like, man. He just opened up another front, essentially. You know, I do that in war games, but those are war games. This is real life. He's, like, playing Total War in real life, just declaring war on everyone and fighting. Oh, man.
The Pyrrhic army set off once again. The next city, another Heraclea, had to be stormed, and it was a sign that things were going to get much more difficult as they passed the Halicus River into Carthaginian territory. Despite this, the next major cities to the west, Selinus and Segesta, came over to Pyrrhus without a fight. This would be the last walkover he would enjoy on Sicily. Meanwhile in Macedon, Demetrius' son, Antigonus Gonatus, stepped up and defeated an 18,000-strong Gallic army at Lysimachia by luring them into attacking his abandoned camp, gathering many treasures, and when they were laden with goods, trapping the Gallic force between his army and his fleet. After this, he took the kingship of Macedonia for himself. While Pyrrhus was now in the west, this was not the last time Antigonus would be heard from.
He might be a problem later, huh? So maybe Pyrrhus made the right decision for not going for Macedonia, because he would have to fight that dude, and who knows? Maybe, but like, I still... Yeah, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm the wrong one, guys, for thinking of taking Macedon. Yeah, maybe I am the wrong one. That is a tough choice. But, yeah, I guess we'll see how... So far, he seems to be sweeping through Sicily, so... Who knows, maybe this might go just super well.
Next, Pyrrhus decided to attack the mountain fortress city of Eryx on the northwest coast of the island. Pyrrhus laid siege to the settlement first with catapults and ballistae, and then with scaling ladders. The sources emphasize that Pyrrhus was first to climb the walls, and fought heroically, pushing many defenders back himself. After a hard-fought siege, the city...
Dang, Pyrrhus is a beast, man, like... You know, like, yeah, he's brave, and he obviously can win a fight. Like, I know I said Pyrrhic victories aren't the best, but he still wins. He's still winning, you know? He still obviously is talented. And, yeah, I really like learning about this dude.
City was taken. To the northeast was Panomus, a port settlement which possessed the finest harbour in Sicily. Pyrrhus quickly stormed it after taking a few outlying fortresses, and then finally turned west once again to Lilybaeum.
Dang, dude, he basically has Sicily, wow. Okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I was dumb. If I was one of Pyrrhus's advisors, he probably would have marched to his doom. I feel bad. I feel bad. I'm sorry. I guess he just seems to, he's gonna take Sicily. I guess when he's not fighting the Romans, he's doing amazing. Look at this dude. Like, man, maybe it was just the Romans, because as we know, the Romans are the Romans. They're a completely different monster. So it seems like when he's not, it seems like he's doing really well against them. I guess it's just the benefit of not fighting the Romans. I'm still a little weirded off that he just left. He just, alright, bye. But, dang. He just abandoned. I'm sorry, that's just the funniest thing ever. He's like, oh man, we're fighting and we're like slogging back and forth. Who's gonna win? Right, bye. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing. I'm not getting over that. But heck, he's doing so great in Sicily. It just seems like all he needs to do is take here and he's won. He has Sicily. Dang. And then what? I guess invade Carthage? Or at least he would have a new base, you know? Maybe start relying on, like, troops here and start amassing more. Maybe go back on Rome later. Hopefully. I hope he didn't just completely say bye. But, yeah.
In his attempt to capture this final holdout of Carthage's power on Sicily, he had to raise intense taxes and levies on the cities that he now ruled. This new harsh conduct caused his Sicilian Greek subjects to view him as a tyrant, and he was no longer welcome. As this happened, Tarentum sent another envoy to their former ally. The Romans had reversed all the gains Pyrrhus had made. Seeing no future on Sicily, he marched back to the eastern city of Masena and sailed back to Italy.
Wait. 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 What the what the fudge? Pyrrhus. Oh my gosh. So here they all are crying. They want Pyrrhus to come and liberate them. He basically does. He's raising these taxes so he can finish the job, and then they get all butthurt and say, alright, go get lost. He just leaves? I mean, I guess, yeah, since they're not supporting him, but like, Pyrrhus, you have it almost all. You can just take it for yourself. Like, don't you want to, like, finish the job? He's just leaving. All of that effort is gone now. And he's just gonna go fight Rome again. He's basically gonna have to start from scratch in Rome because they just took back everything. Because he left in the first place, like... This is just wasted effort. Oh my gosh. Dude, Pyrrhus, what's going on? Oh my gosh, Pyrrhus, bro. Finish the job. You can't keep doing this. You can't just leave when you're about to win. You need to finish a campaign, bro. Oh my gosh. Literally one city left. He had, I guess, what, the sea superiority? At least it seemed like it. Like, I'm sorry, my brain is fried. I'm shocked. He's just gonna leave Sicily. All that is just, alright, bye. Wow.
The city of Locri in southern Italy had a temple to the goddess Persephone and was well stocked with years of temple offerings. Always in need of funds, Pyrrhus robbed the temple and loaded the contents onto his ships, which were promptly destroyed in a storm. This misfortune had a great effect on the Epirate king, who considered himself cursed. But that is a tale for our next documentary on Pyrrhus, which will be released in the near future. So make sure you are subscribed to our...
He robbed the goddess's temple and it got... Boy. These guys were... They must have been still believed in the gods at this point, right? Superstitious? Yeah. Like, you would think I've angered the gods. I've made the mistake that so many Greek mythology tales have told. I still can't believe it. I'm still shocked he just got up from Rome and left just to go fight in Sicily. And just when he basically conquered like 99.9% of Sicily, literally one stronghold city left, and just leaves. Like, surely you must think, I wasted time, I wasted manpower and resources for nothing. I'm shocked. I'm so shocked. Now he's going back to Rome. And if anything, the Romans have probably adapted even more now. They probably have found... I'm assuming they have found a way to finally defeat his elephants. If so, oh man. I'm shocked, guys. Alright, there's one more episode left. Pyrrhus versus everybody. Let's find out what the heck happens. I'm I need to know what happens. I need to finish this series now. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.